The three-day Interpol Regional Conference in Cape Town has wrapped up, and the gathering addressed growing concerns over violent crime in the host city. In Cape Town, the second day of deliberation centered on the surge in financial crimes that transcend borders. And for more on this, we now speak to Andy Mashaile, who is a renowned security expert and retired Interpol Ambassador for the Turn Back Crime campaign, with a coverage of 195 countries. And he joins us now for more on this conversation. Andy, always a pleasure talking to you here on The Full View. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Maybe let's start off here. What are your biggest takeaways from this conference that has taken over the past 3 days?
Bali, I plotted it out on a 6-point success matrix. One, an initiative, Cape Town initiative against cybercrime and cryptocurrency. Two, strengthened action against transnational organized crime. Formal adoption of global policing guidelines on artificial intelligence, bolstering partnerships between public and private sector. The last point being focus on African security and capacity building, as well as commitment to combating environmental crime. And bam, I was right on a number of these initiatives that I plotted on the 6-point success matrix. It is very, very much significant, very important that we should support in Interpol in its initiatives of fighting transnational organized crime, financial crimes, pharmaceutical crimes, that of buying these headache tablets that have the same branding with brands that we know, well-known brands. But when you crush that stuff, it only shows from the tests, your laboratory test, that thing that you called a tablet A or B was actually chalk. So these are some of the promising agreements and work that was achieved.
And Andy, there was a lot of talk, right, when it comes to African countries coming together and working together to try and combat some of the transnational crimes that we are seeing on the African continent. And as you highlight some of the key outcomes within this conference, what is the possibility of, these African countries working together in unison when they're also facing different crimes in their countries?
Operation Red Card proved that 18 countries in Africa can work together and dismantle and destroy cybercrime and cyber criminals and the tools that they use. Number two, Operation Serengeti, stretching from June to August 2025, the arrest and the successes that were achieved suggests to me, to both you and I, that when African countries work together for the creation of a safe and a secure environment, we will then be able to close in on the crime space that we are seeing getting bigger and bigger.
And when it comes to issues around financial crimes, and that was, something that was highlighted yesterday, financial crimes on the African continent, what are the challenges that, we have grown to see on the African continent, particularly when it comes to financial crimes?
Money laundering, Mbali, that happens on your deep web and dark web, has been a serious challenge. Cryptocurrency scams have been a serious challenge for all of us. And that has been the deep web and dark web, as well as artificial intelligence, as well as the advancement of artificial intelligence will force us as African continent, as a region, to increase our knowledge capacity. Once again, like the National Commissioner said, intelligence sharing. I would move a step further and say all operations should be intelligence-driven. And you are going to say to me, what do you mean by intelligence-driven operations? Where do we get this intelligence? We are going into an era, Mbali, of data analytics, and they spoke about predictive analytics that will help us to plot and determine where the hotspot will be in future, because of what we have learned in the diagnostics from a data analytics point of view.
And Andy, coming back home, I mean, we are seeing breaking news coming in this evening, and that pertains to what we saw yesterday with the National Police Commissioner saying that those political killings dockets will now be returned back to his unit. And now the acting police minister slamming the National Commissioner, saying that, well, that shouldn't have happened before the inquiry takes place, and that's the Madlanga inquiry. What is your take on what we are currently seeing, this back and forth between the National Police Commissioner as well as the acting police minister?
Mbali, exciting question from your room there. This morning I was asking myself, as we were speaking, what does this mean for the sitting of the commission as well as the ad hoc committee? Are we going into a mode that says General Mkhwanazi must not continue with the investigation of those mentioned in the 121 dockets, or are we saying General Mkhwanazi must continue in pursuing the suspects as mentioned? And what does it mean when he has got to go and at the end of the day give evidence at the ad hoc committee as well as the Madlanga commission? We are going to be exposed to a very seriously flawed process, and the unfortunate part is it will harm the legitimacy of the process as well as the integrity of the process.
All right, Andy, thank you so much for your time. That's Andy Mashaile, security strategist and retired Interpol Ambassador, also there highlighting some of the latest developments coming out from the police ministry when it pertains to those 121 dockets that the police commissioner yesterday announcing that they will be returning back to the unit.